Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on pulling down the headliner on the SS. So the reason why I'm going to be pulling the headliner, it is because, as you can see, it is sagging. Unfortunately, this happened a couple of weeks ago, maybe like 2-3 weeks ago. I was literally out driving, data logging actually the vehicle. My tuner asked me to do some wide open throttles, and I ended up leaving the windows cracked open. I'm assuming all of this started from here by the dome light. Like some air ended up getting in between the fabric and the dome light and just ended up pulling down the fabric. So yeah guys, don't drive at high speeds with your windows cracked open. What I've heard too is that these headliners from factory, they actually don't wrap around the entire headliner, which is an issue. Yeah, so hopefully you find this video helpful. I'm gonna try to do my best to document everything that I do in the step-by-step, or just the entire process in general. So what I'm thinking, the first thing I'm gonna do is actually start off by pulling off the grab handles here, and then also removing the visors. But actually, before I do that, I am gonna recline the seats back and then probably put like a bed sheet over the seat, and then I am gonna be disconnecting the battery. Now the reason I'm gonna be disconnecting the battery, because I know there's some airbags over here on the pillars, and I don't want to accidentally cause the airbags to go off, so I'm just gonna play it safe and disconnect the battery. Once I remove the handles and the visors, so once I have those things off, we can go ahead and start pulling down the headliner. I am gonna have to mess with the pillars here a little bit, but we'll get to that whenever we get to it. All right, so a couple things that I'm going to be using is some trim removal tools. I think this one we're going to be using to pull down the dome light, and then I don't know, maybe like one of these just to pry stuff off whenever we need it. And then from reading online, I do believe we're going to need a T20 Torx bit, and that should really be it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I got the seats reclined, battery disconnected, and we're gonna start off first by taking off the grab handles. So one right here or one on the other side. So with these, I think it's pretty straightforward. We just pop this off, and then we should be able to access those Torx screws. All right, so let's get this popped off. Okay, that just pops up. Two. Okay, now we have access to our two Torx screws. Let's see if I have the right side. Oh, all right. Actually, let me go get the little magnet tray real quick before I lose them. All right. We'll worry about that later. Let me do the other side, same steps. All right, so next up is gonna be the front sun visors. I apologize if y'all can hear the fan over there, but it's just way too hot. I'm doing this at 9 a.m. in the morning in Texas, and it's already like almost 100 degrees. So anyways, let's go ahead and take off the sun visor. So we have one T20 screw here, and I believe after that, let's see. Yeah, I believe after that, there's going to be electrical connector here that we're going to have to disconnect, and then take this off as well. Is the connector. Ah, there we go. Just gotta pull this out. Bingo. You guys can see that. Might be best to fit in like a flathead screwdriver. That way we can get this thing to release. All right, finally got the sun visor disconnected. Like I said, just go ahead and get a flathead screwdriver, stick it in right in between there, and then release the tab. And once the tab is released, just pull down on this. Make sure not to pull on these wires too much. All right, and next up, we're gonna get this piece off. And I believe I just gotta stick like my little pry tool right on the back side. There we go. All right, so for this, go ahead and get you a very, very small flathead. I don't know if you could see that. All right. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna stick the flathead in like this, and then essentially this is like a little tongue piece. And what you do is you're gonna pry it out or push it out. Okay, once we got that out, okay, and just pull on this down, and that's it. All right. This is what is used to lock this in place. All right, put that back in. That way I don't lose it. All right, so we got this sun visor out. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, follow the same steps. And then after that, I believe we will start tackling the rear. All right, so next up, we're gonna be removing this. Let's see, let me get my little pry tool, plastic one. I believe we popped this off. Okay. All right, so this unclips from this side first, and then there's another torque screw in there. The one back here has this little washer. All right, and then after that, I believe we just pry this off. Let's see. There we go. All right, that was easy. Okay, so let me go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So for the rear view mirror, I did pop off the panels. Yeah, I'm actually gonna leave those wires connected for now. If I need to take them off, I'll let you guys know, but let me go ahead and try to take this off now. Hopefully I don't break anything. All right, well, I'm glad I stopped and looked it up on the internet. I think it's a little bit different if you have a sunroof. If you have a sunroof, you're gonna have 2 torque screws, maybe somewhere over here. So I apologize, I don't have a sunroof, but those without a sunroof, there actually is a torque screw holding this up in the back. And that guy is right there. Okay, so go ahead and just open up your sunglass holder and then remove that torque screw. Well, shoot, where did that go? I'll have to find that in a sec. All right, perfect. Now this is out. Now with this, don't leave this hanging. I'm just gonna go ahead and disconnect this. There's 2 connectors, one right there, and then another one right there. Let me go ahead and disconnect those and then get this out. All right, so I got the dome light out and I found the little torque screw. So it's a little itty bitty one, black one. And now the headliner, I mean, this headliner's done, man. This thing is sagging so bad it started to come apart. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna start to get messy in here. All right, so that's another reason why I have this bed sheet. So I'm probably gonna lay this down here soon over the seats and try to minimize getting all that foam, whatever that crap is, all over. All right, now to get this rear dome light out. So from what I read, I think you gotta stick the pry tool in on this side. On the driver's side, there it goes. All right. Just wiggle it out. Come on. That's holding this thing in place. So I got this out. There's a connector up there. So the way that this is gonna come out, you swing out like this, and then there's a little clip up there. You just push it down, and then that disconnects this connector right there. Now we have the rear dome light out. All right, so I think we got everything that we needed to remove off now. The grab handles are still here, but I think those can actually stay on the headliner board, and then we can remove them later after we get the headliner out. Now we pretty much gotta start pulling down on the headliner board. So let's see how this goes. So I'm starting off with the rear. Pull this down. All right. Gotta do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now let's see if I can move the camera. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this side, the driver's side. And now this seal right here, we're just gonna pull it back or pull it down so that way I can get the headliner out. There we go. Now I have to deal with this B pillar right here. All right, now before you go yanking on this like how I did, actually what needs to happen is this bottom half needs to come out. This actually all just pops off supposedly, and then there's two torque screw that is holding the top pillar in place. So let me go ahead and get this bottom piece out. All right, so I think I got the bottom piece out. So what I did is move the weather strip. Okay, this is the rear back door on the driver's side. So what I did is I moved the weather strip and then stuck my fingers in, used both my hands, pulled this way. And then you're gonna have to tug on it quite a bit. Don't be scared. And then it finally popped out. So let's see. There we go. There we go. Got it out now. All right. Yeah, so good thing I didn't keep pulling on the B pillar. There's two torque screws right there. Let me go ahead and get those out and then pull the B pillar down. All right. All right. That's one of the torque screws, black with the black washer. Okay, so what I did is I stuck my fingers in on this side. I pulled the seal down and I was able to stick my fingers behind it and pull. So let's see, I think this should just come right out now. Boom, from the bottom, grab it, pull out, and then pull down. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And then after that, we'll work on removing the headliner from the front. All right, now before I start going ahead and pulling off this B pillar right here on the passenger side, I'm just doing this just in case. I do have these pillows. I'm setting them on top of the seats. If just in case for whatever reason the headliner decides to come down, and what I'm most scared of is any sort of wiring that's up on the headliner. I don't want it to get, tugged on or pulled. Just taking precaution. I don't know if this will work if the headliner was to come down, but whatever, I'm paranoid. All right, before I start pulling on the headliner from the front A pillar, let me go ahead and unhook it from back here. There we go. I think we're almost there. All right, so the rear is pretty much down now. All right, next I'm gonna try to release the A pillar right here. There goes that. All right, guys, so be very careful, man. There's wiring all over the place. All right, so what I'm gonna start doing now is on the rear, I still haven't pulled the headliner down from the front, but on the rear, I need to go ahead and start lifting this wiring because it's glued onto the headliner board. I'm gonna leave the wiring in here. I don't want to pull it out. All right, guys, I actually had to put the phone down and really concentrate. Man, yeah, this fabric's completely almost detached from the board. Guys, be real careful. Like I said, there's a bunch of wiring. Just take your time. It's stuck on there pretty good, like especially back here. It's almost there. Pretty much the headliner is now sitting on top of the seats now, and I gotta continue pulling up on this and pulling up on that wiring. Man, that's a crap ton of glue. But anyways, I am taking pictures of how the wiring is laid out, so whenever I go to put this back on, I have an idea of how to route everything. Anyways, let's keep going. Guys, so I got most of the wiring detached. The last thing I really need to do is unclip this wiring that goes to the, I guess, the third brake light. I am having a little bit of difficulty getting that unclipped. So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and actually take off the third brake light that's mounted onto the headliner board. It looks like it's some more torque screws. So let me go ahead and do that and unclip it. And then after that, we'll be ready to pull out the headliner. This can pretty much stay inside the car. And I am gonna be pulling it out from the passenger side rear. So it is gonna have to bow a little bit to get it to come out. So let me go ahead and get my phone set up. That way we can get a good view of that. There's a tab on this side right here, and then there's another tab. So push those tabs in and then this should come out. All right, I finally got the headliner out. Man, mine was just completely falling apart. Like I said, the fabric came off and it just got a bunch of that foam stuff everywhere. So I'm gonna have to detail the inside of this car. Anyways, there it is. There's the headliner or the headboard. Mine had a bunch of glue. I really hope, if you're doing this, I really hope yours doesn't have this much or it's easier to peel off. But geez, mine was freaking difficult to work with. But anyways, I'm gonna head down to my local upholstery shop and they're gonna put some new fabric. I still don't know what fabric I'm gonna be going with. I originally wanted to do like a black suede or Alcantara. I got quoted on the Alcantara and it was just way too much. I think they were asking like $900 for like the fake Alcantara and probably like $1,500 for the real one. I don't know. The alternative was the black suede, and I think on that one they quoted me like $450 or something like that. So I'll let you guys end up knowing how much I end up paying. I don't know, I might just go with the original tan. I would love to do it black, but then that would have to consist of me also getting those pillars black as well. So I'm probably just gonna stick with the tan. I don't want to tackle that project, at least not now. But anyways, I'll keep you guys posted. I hope this video was helpful. If it is, please like, subscribe, do whatever, comment, let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's been a couple days now, but I did take the headliner to the upholstery shop to get it fixed, and we ended up going with the black suede. I ended up changing my mind. Instead of doing the original tan color, I decided to go with the black suede. So that also required blacking out the trim pieces. So I ended up pulling all the trim pieces off and taking them with me, even the B-pillar ones. So those were a little bit, they weren't difficult to pull off. I just didn't know how to pull them off. So essentially you have to take down here where the seatbelt attaches pretty much, I guess, to the seat, pop off this little cover, and then using a 10 mil and an impact, I was able to take off this bolt here and then push this down and out and then slide the seatbelt through that B pillar. So that shop ended up blacking out those parts too. I still have them here sitting inside of my truck. They're still freshly sprayed, so I'm leaving them here inside the truck to, I guess, kind of let them cure a little bit. I mean, it's like 100 and something degrees here right now. I probably won't even install these until the weekend. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and at least put the headliner back in the car. I don't think I'll go through the process of installing it, just at least laying it inside of here, just simply because I don't want to keep it in the back of the truck. All right, so we're back now. It's been a couple days, as y'all might have seen in the last couple of clips. Place that I ended up taking the headliner to, they ended up actually blacking out the interior trim. So whenever I was on the phone with them, I told them what I wanted to do and if they offered that service, and they said they did. So they went ahead and blacked out all of the trim pieces that I took to them. Now, whenever I got them back, I did, you know, have to respray them myself. I did notice some pieces kind of had some light spots here and there. So I ended up respraying them, doing a couple more coats, and I think they look awesome. So here, these are the pillars, the C pillars, I guess, the ones that go in the back. These are the A pillars, and then these are the upper B pillars. Same thing with the front dome light and the rear one, and then the handles. And then here is the sun visor. So the sun visors also got wrapped in suede, and then the plastic also got sprayed black. All right, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and start putting everything in. The only thing I'm gonna do different, I guess, is I might actually have someone else come out. I think I'm gonna grab my wife and have her come out here and just help me hold the headliner up while I get the B pillars in, and then while I pop the back of the headliner up there towards the back and then get the C pillars in. Once that is in, I think that should really support most of this, and then I'll work with the A pillars. And then once I'm done with that, I will show you the end results. You guys, just some advice. I pretty much got the headliner back in. I actually found out these clips right here actually come out, and it probably would have been better to pull these clips out whenever I had the headliner out. But pretty much what you got to do is you got to stick a flathead in and try to press these tabs in. There's a tab on this side right here, and then there's another tab. So push those tabs in, and then this should come out. Do not even try to put those sun visors in without taking this out. All right, so here is the sun visor clips. I'm gonna go ahead and put this clip back in, and then I should be able to pop it in. All right, so once you got this out, see, there's a spring in there too. Make sure that that spring is aligned properly. It's actually sitting inside that little groove in there. All right, so with that in, I believe all I gotta do is put this right there. There we go. And then put this guy back in and make sure we do it correctly. That's it. So we're ready to put this thing back in. All right, hope that helps. All right, guys, so here is how the car looks with the headliner back in, the black suede. And in my opinion, looks really good. I'm glad I went with the black. Yeah, so reinstalling the headliner board was pretty straightforward. I had my wife come out and help me at least hold up the headliner board while I was putting some of the parts back in. So the very first thing I did is I made sure to feed it in here and make sure that it was underneath or on this side of the weather strip, and I did that all the way around. And then I put this B pillar back in. Then I came over here to this side and I did the same thing. So once I got the headliner in on that side, then I put that B pillar in. And after that, I focused on back here. So making sure to push up on the headliner over here to pop that into place, and then put the C pillars back in. Once those pillars are in, pretty much the headliner was staying up. And then I just worked with getting the A pillars back in. And then after that, just putting back the dome lights. Now, in some parts, I did struggle a little bit, I think, with putting the sun visors back in. And I think even with this dome light here, the reason I think I struggled a little bit is because the material is a little bit more thicker than the OEM fabric. So in some places I did have to push up on the headliner board a little bit, so that way I could pop things back into place. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think. I'm not a professional or anything like that. I've never taken a headliner board out. So hopefully the steps that I provided in this video were helpful, because I just kind of wanted to share with everyone what I went through to get this out. So if you find this helpful, you know, make sure to share it, give it a thumbs up, and if you aren't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe.